Now, it is time to say it as it is about Pi Network. Will Pi Network really thrive? Will Pi Network really make it through to the next bull run? Now we're going to look at some facts, what is currently going on in Pi Network, and then we're not going to use all that as a metric to know if we are just wasting our time with Pi Network or we should move on and focus on other things. Let's go, guys. First, let's take a look at crypto bubble. What is going on currently? Everything is down. At least most coins are down about an average of 5%, including Pi Network that has been down minus 4.3% in the last 24 hours. I want you to take note of this. Now, what is the first thing that we need to check? The first thing we're going to consider now is looking at the figures, and we have to also put the figures into consideration to see if truly Pi Network is worth the whole time and everything. Now, let's go to Pi blockchain. Looking at this particular metric, let's see the figures, right? Let's see the numbers. Now, for migrated mining rewards, what does migrated mining reward means? The total amount of coins that has been migrated to each wallet, the sum total of all the Pi coins that have currently been migrated to each wallet. We have about 6,968,204,122.151 Pi coins currently in people's wallets. Now, the next one is the currently locked mining reward. Amongst all the coin that has been sent into people's wallets, we have the rewards that are currently locked that people cannot have access to, that you cannot trade, right? We have about 5,138,577,240.933 Pi. The currently unlocked mining rewards, which means the one that you can trade currently that is out to trade, is 1,829,626,881.219 Pi. The current circulating supply, take note of this, is, let's just say, approximately 7 billion, which is automatically equal to this. The effective total supply, what does this mean? The difference between circulating supply and effective total supply, let me tell you. There are some certain coins that have been reserved in a place. Maybe they are planning to burn the coin, or they are planning to use that particular supply of coin for something else, which is about 3 billion right now. They now included that amount of coin to the current circulating supply, which is out there for trading, and also the ones that are locked. So altogether, that's when you get the effective total supply. So the effective total supply right now is 10,720,314,034.079 Pi, right? Now, the maximum supply, like the total amount of Pi Network that can ever exist on the face of this earth, is capped at 100 billion Pi. Now, the reality of this whole thing is that Pi Network will never get to 100 billion supply. One other thing you should look at is compare the number of people that have been migrated with the number of people that have not been migrated. Now, let's do a quick comparison. The number of people that are migrated versus the number of people that are not migrated. Now, let's look at it. Now, a quick Google search tells you that as of February 20, 2025, which is like about 2 months ago, right? Roughly last month, because that was like 20 towards the end of February, right? Pi Network had over 10.14 million mainnet migration. This surpasses the initial goal of 10 million migration due to the network upgrades, right? Now, according to Pi Network, additionally, over 19 million identities have been verified. Now, let's focus on the people that have KYC'd. They said the number of people that have KYC'd is about 19 million, and then the number of people that have been migrated is about 10.14 million, which technically means that about 9 million people have not yet been migrated. What does this tell you? That's about half of the total population of people that are not migrated, right? When you go back to the Pi blockchain now, and then you look at the figures again, with about 10 million people that have been migrated, we currently have 6 billion supply. Even if we know that the other half is not up to 10 million, right? Let's just still assume it is exactly 10 million. And let's just say averagely, it is going to be exactly 6.9 billion, right? That will give you about 14 billion Pi Network supply. Hold on to 14 billion Pi Network supply. Now, going back to crypto bubble, you will see that currently Pi Network is moving as normal as every other coin. There's no abnormal movement or abnormal price action with Pi Network, which means Pi Network is what I would call stable right now. And then we also know that Pi Network has a strong community. There are so many believers of Pi Network that are willing to hold on to their Pi and remain loyal, and that is going to be very positive for Pi Network. Now that we've gotten all these facts, let's go to CoinMarketCap and look at something very closely. Now you can see that Pi Network is currently with the market cap of about 4.08 billion. Remember that if the entire people that have KYC'd are already migrated, the market cap with this price right now should be about 8 billion. When you come to CoinMarketCap generally, let's just use XRP as a case study. Now the market cap of XRP is about $133 billion. Now 133 divided by 8, that will give you 16. You can all see for yourself. Now, even if the entire KYC pioneers eventually gets migrated to the mainnet, $10 is still possible. With all these old facts that we've gathered together, it technically means that we are not stupid to think Pi Network can still do some crazy numbers along the line. The only thing that would stop them from getting to this goal is if they don't do the needful, the necessary things they should do, and also work towards it, of which I believe that their hands are on deck and they are working towards the success of this project, coupled with the fact that they have solid community, which is a very, very important thing in cryptocurrency. So for those of you that still want to keep believing in Pi, please continue believing in Pi Network, because Pi Network has the potential. Emphasis on has the potential, which means there's also a possibility that it could become nothing at the end of the day. But the potential is so solid that I am willing to bet anything on this particular project that they are going to do amazingly well. So what am I trying to say in essence? For those of you holding on to your Pi, continue holding on to it. You might get a very huge reward by staying true and loyal to this coin. So with all these few facts, I hope I've been able to convince so many people that have been having this question that Pi Network can still become something very massive. This dip currently is not abnormal because we are currently seeing some downtrend in crypto generally. So you shouldn't capitalize on the fact that Pi Network is lower than its all-time high right now, because every coin is currently lower than their all-time high. So don't judge Pi Network based on the price you are seeing right now. Judge Pi Network based on how solid the project is, and also the people that are backing up this project, and also the community. So that is basically the reason why you see that I talk about Pi a lot, because there's so many reasons why I believe in this project. So guys, that will be the end of today's video. I'm going to see you in the next one, but until then, bye for now.